Africa, what's up? Nigeria, what's up? Plateau State, what's up? Just City. Yes, it is the second Plateau Leadership Summit. It's your boy VJ Rich Blaze. I am your red carpet host. Yes, this year the theme for the summit is effective strategic leadership as effective resource management as pathway to sustainable development in Plateau State. Yes, we need sustainable development in Plateau State. Hence the reason for this summit. Right now, the panel discussion is going on where Dr. Dakom is the chairperson. Ladies and gentlemen, come with me to the red carpet where you meet guests of this event. Don't go nowhere. Keep it locked down, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Vicky, hello. I am Geraldine Timkad, the Administrative Secretary, COA Media, organizers of Plateau Leadership Summit.
My name is Blessed Ezekiel from Rayfield Comprehensive College.
How about you?
John Joshua Bagoro.
Okay, so what are your plans of becoming leaders in the coming future?
My plans of becoming a leader is to be a leader with a difference, because a lot of people have been complaining about our politicians nowadays not doing things that are supposed to, not doing things that they are meant to do for their people. So I'm planning to be a leader with a difference in future.
My plans of becoming a leader in future begins now, because most leaders are leaders with fake promises. So I do believe if I do become a leader, I'll work with diligence and time. So my plan of becoming a leader is to be a leader of good promises and being a leader of diligence.
Okay, so who is your role model, your leadership role model right now?
My leadership role model is Barack Obama.
How about you? A leader that is your role model?
The former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan.
I'm by name Gloria Obiania.
I'm by name Michael Shrey.
Okay, what's the name of your school, please?
Rochas Foundation College.
Wow.
Well, I plan to not only to be a leader, but also to be a mentor. Because from what we are actually learning in there, we are lacking mentors in society nowadays. So I not only plan to be a leader, but also a mentor in different aspects. Because I will not like to concentrate only on one aspect. I would like to be diverse.
As a future leader, my plans are to bring up Nigeria as one, because the present Nigeria is not the Nigeria we know before. Everything are dangling, moving upside down. So to be a leader, a future leader, I know I will make it.
To borrow from a word, you're just trying to say everything has dabaru.
Yes, sir. Everything is going upside down. Our politicians are using us as tools to make money and other stuff. So as a leader, as a future leader, all that is dangling, I hope I will try to bring it.
Welcome each and every one of you. In place, for those of us who already have an order, you can just follow me. The speech is already there as we go together. In a rare feat to make the case for leadership, I'm going to assume that there are no leaders here among us. Nevertheless, by the end of this all-important event, it is aimed at each and every one here today is able to face the reality of our time and speak and thereby bring to bear the very own essence in advancing true life and society. This is not to imply that honor should not be given to those it's due in defining leadership, even in authoritarian instance. There is no gainsaying the fact that leadership within our context has been largely distasteful. We mostly know the principle and qualities in theory, and we are usually quick to give vent to our anger on its sorry state. This has skimmed our sense of leadership and order, and in fact, breed more of hypocrisy and sycophant within the politics. When we talk less about it and do what is right, we are more likely to attract the right caliber of people in leadership. We should make ourselves less prone to manipulation. It is only by adopting and upholding the element of strategy that we can ever gain genuine and impactful leaders and establish effective leadership. We must shift from our concern about leadership from idealism to pragmatism. Only then can we attain leadership that is objective and sustainable impactful. It will be enormously inconsequently that we use this most of our time here today to ponder and deliberate on the issues we mostly already reckon with in terms of leadership, theorism, or in the qualities of leadership we never take us far. We must begin to apply the very principle of leadership which are intrinsically at the core of our daily and natural quest for growth and advancement. A strategic approach is instrumental in order that what we consider as leadership influences us all in the right direction, solve practical problems, and advance us to betterment and fulfillment. Making the most of the real opportunities is founded on correcting and prevailing ills with our leadership. We must correct the ills of lack of integrity, lack of vision, lack of responsibility for those led, tolerance and unjust sentiments, selfish inclinations, and greed, pride, and lack of fair consideration. Let us use this moment to analyze our problems and opportunities in such ways that enables us to construct our realities. Let us give consideration to the effective use of the abundant resource we have in contributing to lives more generally. Let us encompass the wholeness of being individual and collectively to unleash potential. We must connect to the fullness compass line, memories and means to make our people happier, resourceful abroad. We must ensure fair and equitable distribution of our wealth against all urge and negative sentiment. That is leadership. Thank you, Honorable Nifenabe. Your support is highly appreciated. Our media partners, especially KTFM, have patronized them, and you can be assured of getting a genuine lead from them. I thank all vendors and suppliers for this reasonable consideration and concession granted. Our development partners, consultants, profile builders, we appreciate you and wish you greater capacity. The glory is due to God Almighty. I thank my family for their love and understanding, friends and others. All in all, you have been wonderful. The entire management staff and volunteers of Square Media, we shall be bigger. Thank you and God bless you all as you live here, leaders and better leaders. Thank you.
I therefore congratulate the organizers of this very important and successful summit, particularly COA Media and everyone that is responsible one way or the other for its success. The theme of this year's edition, Strategic Leadership and Effective Resource Management as Pathway to Sustainable Development in Plateau State, is apt, as the clamor for resource management by all leaders in Nigeria gains traction by the day. I've said it time without number that our administration is ever ready to support and encourage anything that will transform the values of our dear state by making her globally visible, and will also project her as competitive in industry, corporate, community, as well as civic leadership. I am glad that the scope of this summit will provide participants the forum for the exchange of best practices from around the globe in terms of leadership, legislative and political agenda setting in order to create the most positive impact. I understand this year's edition brings together policymakers, small and medium-scale entrepreneurs, players in the private and public sectors, development institutions, think tanks, and stakeholders across Plateau State and Nigeria in a series of high-level analytical sessions. This will no doubt build formidable high network collaborations, engender mutually beneficial and effective multi-stakeholder partnerships, policy dialogues and interactions capable of causing reorientation and strengthening the approach to the leadership and management system in Plateau State for sustainable development. Ladies and gentlemen, let me reiterate the determination of the Rescue Administration to create the enabling environment for all businesses to thrive in the state, so as to complement government efforts in providing jobs to our teeming unemployed youths. Towards this end, let me at this juncture urge all participants to place a high premium on the summit and subsequently take home all the shared ideas. I must conclude by adding that the task before us is challenging and cannot be accomplished alone. We are therefore soliciting for your support and cooperation for the development of Plateau State as outlined in our 5 policy trusts. Indeed, we all owe it a duty to ensure that the state becomes an economically viable entity. This is a worthy and challenging task that we ought to do and must do. Thank you, and God bless you all.
I must thank the organizers of the summit for considering me worthy to share my thoughts on a thought-provoking issue of leadership. I say it's thought-provoking because right from time immemorial, there has been a lot of concerns expressed about the nature of leadership. Why is leadership important? How do people become leaders? What are the challenges of leadership? And probably, how can we move forward in identifying behaviors or characteristics that make for good leadership? Permit me to digress a bit, to go a bit into the history. In my readings, I think that leadership got its roots very firmly established right from the times of the Industrial Revolution. We are here talking about the 16th century, when we had this massive transition from manual processes of production to mechanized system, particularly in the manufacturing sector. First of all, in Europe, where we had the first industrial revolution, you will recall, those of us that are students of history, that it was a period of increase in productivity and prosperity. During the second industrial revolution, which spread to North America, Europe, and Japan, we also had significant leaps in the improvement of production. And the context of the management of production, the context of the management of the economy, the context of the introduction of mass production to the manufacturing sector, created an industrial setting that calls for leadership in the industrial context. And you'll discover, for those of us who are students of history, that many of the theories of leadership actually began to take root during those periods.
My name is Jeremiah Sauniwer, the Special Advisor to the Governor on NGOs and inter-party affairs.
Okay, he's ably representing the executive governor of Plateau State, right, the Honorable Barrister Simon Bakola Long. Sir, okay, what is your say on this particular summit? What do you have to say about it, sir?
Well, it's a welcome development for Plateau. This is the second time it is happening. It happened in 2018, and it is now happening in 2019. And each time these things happen, there is a communique that is usually issued out at the end of every summit. And I believe that those communiques are being put to use so that, like we have had, everything that we have had today should be translated into practical terms. And so I believe that with the cooperation of everybody, government, private sector, and every stakeholders, critical stakeholder in the state, I think this dream will be realized.
Okay, so tell me, what do you have to say about the planning and packaging of this particular event?
Well, I want to say kudos to the organizers. They have done a very good job. I am particularly impressed by the array of intellectuals that they have invited to this program. And the organization generally is apt, and is kudos to them. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for coming, sir. God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Instead of wandering around looking for things that do not matter. But most importantly, before I hand over this microphone to me, is the question of disparity in access to education and also the brain drain that we have. Here on the plateau, the internal brain drain is more worrisome as compared to those people who are moving to the diaspora. I said, sir, that in the month of February and March, we have 12,000 Nigerian doctors who wrote PLAB, and we also have a whooping close to 15,000 Nigerian doctors practicing outside the shores of Nigeria. And the good news is that they are the best wherever they are found. So what's happening back home, and why are people running? But I tell those courageous who have left the shores of this country and have dared to come back to develop the little that is left of us. And which is why addressing the issues of brain drain and the disparity to access to education and job opportunities will bring about an effective reduction in the deficiencies we have in human capital. Thank you, Professor, for creating your space to share with us this wonderful paper. And thank you also for the want of time. I stop here. God bless us all. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you very much, Doctor. The erudite scholar, the Vice Chancellor of Plateau State University, had always amazed me when I hear him speak. This morning, he did the same thing. He was talking about talking for 2 hours as a professor. I would have waited for 4 hours because I was really, deep into his presentation. But one of the key things we must consider is inclusiveness of growth. Because we need to connect this state to the national economy. We need to open Plateau beyond Plateau. We need to see how we can connect Plateau to the global economy. I know there will be lots of logistical and policy issues, but integration at these levels will give us the breather we needed to have control over so many things. Without addressing these challenges, Plateau will not benefit fully from the increasing political and economic pressure, which is very important. The other point, which is also on opening Plateau, is the need to open up as never before. Look at ICT, for instance. I'm glad some expert in ICT is here. ICT and all the associated innovations, have enhanced interconnectivity between many individuals and businesses around the globe. I work from Jos. My company is Let's Go Media here. But some of my clients are, multilateral clients that I, link with through ICT, through connection, using what I know I can do with my handset. We need to find ways, of ensuring that we open up Plateau through e-service.
And when I go there, I see a pathetic situation. Pathetic in the sense that here you have a state that has a 30% derivation, they have the normal allocation, and they have all kinds of taxes from the oil companies. But if you go there, those people are suffering. You will see it clearly. And I'm like, what's going on? I met a friend of mine who was a commissioner, and I said, what the heck are you guys doing here? And it's the bottlenecks of morality. The money is there in the budget, the money is released, the money didn't get to where it should be done. What happened in between? Somebody chopped in. Corruption. And I said, do you really care about these people that you are governing? Do you have compassion on them? Do you think that they matter in this business of governance? If they matter, whatever is released for that purpose gets for that purpose. I tell you, if we have just 60% of allocated money being used for that purpose, there will be development. But somehow, somewhere, somebody just blocks it. And it is happening right from the head cleaner, right to the top. I had occasion in my own organization to call one of my senior staff. He was the head driver. And the reason is because the other people were complaining bitterly about him. I said, what's wrong with your leadership? I thought you are a great guy. You will be able to provide very strategic leadership in this area. But I discovered that it boiled down to the fact that if you are a driver and you go on a tour, if you do not bring back some of ebunje for him, ebunje, if you don't bring back potatoes or you don't bring back something for him, you will never travel again. So you never get allowances. That's happening with as low as a driver. A head cleaner would not just manage the soap and whatever she's buying because she chopped 3/4 of the money. Where is our morality? Let me then answer the other question that has to do with Plateau apathy to business. And I think it's also rooted in a wrong theology. A wrong theology and a wrong religiosity.
My name is Professor Johanna Izam, the Vice Chancellor, Plateau State University, Bokos.
Okay, sir, what would you say about this program, this particular summit going on right about now?
Well, the summit by the Plateau State Summit Group is one that is a very important platform for discussing an all-important issue of leadership development, not only in Plateau State but the nation as a whole. This is the second summit and is discussing the issue of strategic leadership and the role that it can play on nation building. So I would like to say that the organizers have done well. Nigeria, Plateau State is at the crossroads in terms of the recognition of the role that our leaders can play in bringing about all-round development. And so for the caliber of people that are here for this important discussion, I hope that very good recommendations can come out that will help us in the development of the leadership enterprise for nation building in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, sir. Very quickly, How would you rate the planning of this event, the planning and packaging of this event? Has it met your expectations, sir?
Yes, I'm excited about the planning that has gone into this event. If I recall very well, for several months before now, there has been some very good level of public mobilization. And you can see that it has actually reflected in the attendance, the number of people that are here, in spite of the fact that people have a lot to do. There is a fairly good turnout of people for this interview. So I think they have done well. They have done.
Thank you very much for coming, sir. God bless you.
Beautiful Plateau, a home of peace and tourism, blooming in cultural heritage, a page and stage for the new age. Serving has sold the rich resources on gold platers, the pride of our old weathers and mountain source of gold feathers, carrying peace in her angelic wings, serving food and fruit of platers of gold. I love Plateau, the beautiful lady. But I think with what Plateau states, that I can barely call her a home of peace and tourism. She's now served with peace for her hatred. Her face is now battered. She's now a shadow of her former self. Together we can help peace in Plateau State and plant her deep down our soil. Together we can live as one with our diversity, culture, and religion. Together we can embrace unity and make her our one cherished jewel. Together we can open our closed heart and let peace be again. It's high time we drop aside the sticks, the guns, the cutlasses. So Plateau State can flow with milk and money and not be Lord and agony. Together we can build a state, a home for unity and peace, with citizens, great and elites. Let the past vanish like smoke into thin air so we all can breathe a fresher air. Let's build our state together. It's up to you, it's up to me, it's up to us to make Plateau State greater. My name is Victor Bello. I love Plateau.
Please say something about how do we harness the resources of market women.
I think the expert on that would have been working already with women on the plateau. However, when we look at the areas of what has been done so far, I think like some 2 years ago, I began to interact more closely with Bank of Industry. And I found out that not only Central Bank have this kind of initiative, even the Bank of Industry they have those initiatives that can begin to plunge finances into what market women are doing. Another thing is, apart from the finance, is extra training on how their businesses can be taken from where it is to, like closing the gap through the knowledge gap Most of them have competence in the sense of they know what they're doing over the years, but again, the knowledge gap can be closed through this close mentorship with people like Dr. Nancy, who has been doing this over time. I would suggest that a cluster meeting be held with seasoned people like this who can come up with such ideas for financing, for closing the gap in terms of knowledge, and also helping to the government aspect comes into how we can make the market more feasible and accessible to these people. But generally speaking, I think that if we have a cluster where there can be interaction from private people and the women, we can begin to form some templates which they can operate in and also use on the platform.
Plateau, how do we promote mental health and how do we make parents to understand that this son or this daughter is beginning to exhibit symptoms of depression, and then let us address it at the point. And if we can have a proper mental health program in the state, I think we will reduce suicide to a very large extent. The things that stress you, when we were in school, we don't have those stressors. Our own status were totally different. In my university days, I never washed my clothes myself. That's how good it was. I never knew what it was to cook as a student because I just get a meal ticket. The bursary system worked so well that I was able to buy a car as a student. But now those things are not there. How will we return it in the context of today? We'll not be able to get it there, but we'll be able to do something. So let me, on behalf of the discussants, the keynote speaker, and His Excellency here, thank you for giving the opportunity to coordinate this session. And we will work towards answering some of these questions that have been raised so that the communique and the report of the summit will be very rich. So let me invite the rapporteurs to highlight a few, and then the organizers can come and close. So once again, thank you very much, sir.
Second edition of the Plateau Leadership Summit 2019 with the theme Strategic Leadership and Effective Resource Management as Pathway to Sustainable Development in Plateau State. The major critical issues raised by the convener, just one, leadership today is more theoretical than practical. Secondly, we talked about character challenge, which is self-centeredness, lack of accountability, and so many other issues, and also nonchalant followership. He spoke about so many things. We're just, like I told you, just a summary. We're just bringing up the bullet point. And part of the solution he raised, one, leaders should talk less and do more. We should see more action than rhetoric. Secondly, he spoke about leadership must be pragmatic leadership. And finally, correcting character illness. So many issues that have to do with the character. You heard some of the panelists giving examples of the character challenges we have. The keynote address from the representative of the governor, he raised the issue that he actually encouraged and also affirmed the fact that government is committed to creating an enabling environment for leadership and for businesses to thrive. He also mentioned the call on people, everybody, to partner with government in the journey towards a better plateau, and also talked about application of all that we discussed today to ensure that we develop the plateau that we dream of. Next is our guest speaker, the Professor Johanna Exam, mentioned, I'm just bringing up the major issues. He linked leadership with industrialization, the 16th century industrial revolution. He spoke about leadership coming with increased productivity and prosperity, and also the different qualities of leadership, strategic leadership, quality leadership, and he spoke about situational leadership, pragmatic leadership in the family, and so many more. Just bringing it up just because of time. He also spoke about strategic leadership allows for disagreement, for better thinking and moving forward. Strategic leadership should also be sustainable, and strategic leaders should look beyond the situation and the tenure or the level of leadership they are at that moment. He raised the challenges of leadership, and some of them are meeting the expectation of those who place them where they are, linking that particularly to democratic leadership, where you are being elected. The challenge of meeting the expectations of those who voted you into office, and he also spoke about strategic leaders should take strategic decisions. You need to plan, and continue to plan. And he spoke about the principles of strategy. One is success, sustainability, and then followers. I'm just looking at the bullet points. You go to get the details on your via emails. And he said leadership comes with followership. You cannot be a leader if there are no followers. Talk about influence. We wanted to get also comments from the panelists, but because of the time we cannot get all the comments and responses from the panelists, but that also will be sent to you via email. Okay, can you just let me 2 minutes to just add to what I just raised, please, and then we'll be out of your faces. Thank you very much.
We'll just drop a few points. Which came out from the Sisani also talked about producing movies and documentaries that can showcase what we have on the plateau. So I'm hoping that will come up. Then communicating the beauty of the state also and tourism is very important for the media to look out for. Then we also have Nancy. She highlighted a lot about providing mentoring platforms on the plateau, which is very important for the young people. Visionary leadership, leaders who will help to raise youth leaders. We also have Dr. Kola Wale-Ojo talking about strategic leadership should be built around the agricultural advantage, and the agricultural advantage from apples, strawberry, roses, potatoes, and so on of the state, and should strategically build warehouses, and the state government can get experts who would find a way to export these products both out of the state and country. Along the line, Dr. Dan also mentioned that humility in leadership is important, so they can walk amongst the people, because walking with the people will help to know what their needs are and able to do them appropriately. Also, he highlighted also that young people must deliberate in finding mentors and follow them. I hope young people have been able to pick that today. The audience also made very clear that the political class should be more involved in events like this. So we're glad that the representative of the governor has been here all day. I must say that personally I'm impressed. Thank you, sir. And then the primary education also, which I think the governor also rightly addressed in the state, there should not also, someone also highlighted that there shouldn't be a disconnect between the educational system, the economy, and also societal development. So our educational system should basically be revamped so that there's a connect. And then also there should be recognition for people in the private sector when we have platforms like this. Also, another person highlighted that the advantages of the state, which we talked about earlier, or the fruits and the vegetables that we have, should be rounded up and the mining by the government, and find out panels that can plan and bring out the very best for the state. The second paneling, also quickly, which is my final point here, is talking about unlocking the potentials of the state. And our panelist Nancy mentioned that mentoring is a long-term process, not like coaching. So when we start up mentoring systems on the platform, we should give it enough time to grow so that the young ones can actually benefit from it. She also highlighted that mentoring should be built into the educational system, very important. Mentoring is a joint venture, not just for one part. And also, for the young people, it's important to volunteer. Volunteering helps to build your CV experience and also helps you to be able to launch out when the time comes. So you don't want to take the place of your mentor. Thank you. Then Mr. Samuel also mentioned that Plateau needs to be connected to the global economy. Also, opening Plateau through ICT is a good way to connect the states to the global economy. He also talked about inclusive governance, gender-wise, region, and all that on the state. And finally, he also talked about the policy polishing to improve, to make it more friendly for the private sector and business people. Policies should be worked on to make it easy. And then the last but not the least, we have Dr. Kola Waliojo also talking about soft loans for students who have done very well, platforms for them to launch out, having trade and done well at school. And also the taxing system should be looked into, should become more friendly so that people are willing to give up. And the last but not the least also still goes back to where Andrew stopped, character issues. We must be checked. So it had come up again the second time. I think from the rapporteurs, that's about what we have, and I'm sure the whole song will be sent into our emails right after today. Thank you for your time.
Each and every one of you for finding time out of your busy schedules to be here. We know that we've called you from afar. You brought everything to be here. Somebody once said, it is a teamwork that makes a dream work. And the writer also said, if I've been able to see far, it is because I've been on the shoulders of the great. We have gathered today to see how to make Plateau great again. Because when we get great leaders on the Plateau, our showcase will not remain only here. It will exist even to the national. I want to thank you for your contributions, for your patience. I want to thank you for your time out. Most of you, most importantly for the guest speaker, leaving Abuja all the way in his tiredness, he still made it out to give us such a wonderful talk. Sir, we are honored. Thank you also for the chairman of the discussion for leaving his busy schedules to be here today. We want to thank each and every one of you. It is our desire in COA Media that what we've started, we have planted as an acorn. We want to see it to grow as an oak tree. You are part of that dream, you are part of that mission. That we'll see Plateau great again. We'll see Plateau not from the point of history, but in a point where we'll make history again and again and again, so that other states and other nations will look up to us once again. Thank you, and as you live to your various destinations, may God bless you. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm Shabul Mazadu, the publisher of the Beacon newspaper, and I was one of the repertoires here at this leadership summit. The program was fantastic, and there are so many things that if the government imbibes, it will transform the state and change the narratives and bring rapid development. You know, for instance, the areas of making the state business friendly, boosting agriculture, eradicating gender disparities, and other things like that. And also that the government should encourage business entrepreneurs and support little businesses to grow, including agriculture.
My name is Andrew Amos Gogwim from Unity 93.3 FM. I think this is one of the most important gatherings that I have seen recently. This primarily because the dearth of leadership in our country has been the biggest challenge we've had to face. And developing strategic leadership is the solution to every challenge that we've been having in Nigeria, particularly on the plateau. If we bring it down to very small levels, we can develop small leadership strategies that will make Nigeria become a better country. These are the things that stood out for me in this summit. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I'm Niradung Victoria, Face of Plateau Queen 2019. I'm here live at the Plateau Leadership Summit at Crest Hotel. It was wonderful, it was wow, it was superb. I learned about mentorship, I learned about leadership, and then one keynote I got was strategic leaders should learn to encourage citizens. They should learn to relate with humans.
I'm Cletus Akime, Executive Director, CA Media, and Coordinating Executive for the Plateau Leadership Award. Actually, this is the second edition, and we thank God for the successful turnout for today. And then we look forward to a better outing in the coming years. Well, the event has not been without challenges, but we thank God, like I earlier said in my opening speech. I want to thank God for the Governor of Plateau State. Appreciate God for the keynote speaker. Thank God for the chairman of the panel of discussants and everyone who came in to make this event a success, and also the chairman of the PYC, the Plateau State Youth Council, and the entire member of the CA Media team who worked tirelessly towards making this event a success. The Plateau Leadership Summit is all out to help in encouraging the emerging leaders and to also equip and better their lot. So I look forward to see each and every one of you in the next year edition of the Plateau Leadership Summit. Stay tuned for better days ahead. God bless you.